are live.
We are.
Yep.
6 o'clock, 10/27/21. Open the EDA meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the September 22nd meeting?
I'll second.
Motion made and second to approve the EDA minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. CEDA report.
Yes, good evening.
Hi.
So, have a couple updates here. Got a couple updates here for new entrepreneurs. I'm working with somebody. I don't really have any updates for the public at this time. That's still kind of on the back burner. It's going to take some time to pull that one together. But we did recently complete a market analysis for somebody who was looking to open a new restaurant in town. Ultimately, that person has decided they do not want to move forward with that at this time, but we do have the market analysis still, so if somebody comes along and wants to do that, we have that information ready to go. It did look pretty promising. We had about $2.2 million in market capacity for restaurants in the Goodhue area, so Goodhue and the surrounding townships. So it is promising that we could support another restaurant if one came along. I am also working with the Corner Bar. They applied for a facade grant, but I am working with them on a separate project. I didn't get the permission to bring it up in a public meeting, so I don't want to give any details away there. But they are looking to do some other work on that building, so we'll see where that takes us. I do have something that was not in the report. Last year, or I think at the beginning of this year, there was discussions about applying for a trails grant through the DNR. I was notified by my grants department that they're looking to start booking their projects for next year. I wanted to get your guys' opinion if you guys wanted to proceed with that DNR grant. If you do, now would be the time to let us know so that they can get you in the pipeline so that they know what's coming.
So is that a 50-50 or?
So I think the one that you guys were applying for was the local connection trails. So that one, it's an up to 75% of the project or 150,000. So it's usually the lesser of the two. So I think last year there was some confusion about what the match was. And that's why it ended up being 50-50, not the 75-25 that was expected, because that particular grant was only up to 150,000. So once you reach that 150,000, they're not going to give more for the grant. So that's why it ended up being that 50-50.
And there's certain things that has to be used on. It can't be just anything, or what is it? What can they use it on?
Yep. So it applies for that particular grant. Applies for making a new trail, all the parts of it. So the engineering fees, the construction fees, all of that.
Okay.
And what's the cost for us to apply for that grant?
That's a good question. I did not get the, I should have got that information for you. I did not get that information, but I can certainly get in and notify you all of what the cost for that would be. But it sounded like the last estimate would have probably been about $300,000 total. So I know the cost for you guys up front, or for actually constructing the trail, would be right around $150,000 plus whatever the trail is. I did notify my grant department that I know you guys have spent quite a bit on roads recently, so I didn't know if it was something you guys were going to want to proceed with at this time, but I did want to bring it to your attention if you did.
For the cost for grant writing?
There is a slight cost. The only reason for that is because with the current CEDA contract, I don't have enough hours to do it. These DNR grants, they're probably about 40 hours worth of work to get it done. So you usually have to contract additional hours for that, for the writing.
And that would be an area where lighting would be another issue too, wouldn't it?
The what?
The lighting, where people are saying they're too dark, that would more than likely be an issue in that area, the new one.
Potentially. Sometimes you can get grants for that. Different grants, not just the DNR. So you can work with your energy company, and a lot of times they do have grants, and you can do for like, for instance, like, what am I trying to say? Like safe routes to school. Under that program, you can sometimes get lighting for that. So that's a different grant that we could apply for as well. So if there's a lighting issue.
It would have to be on a new trail.
Yep. So the local connections would be constructing a new trail that would be. They're usually looking to connect this point to that point. So just kind of more filling gaps, I would say, filling gaps in the trail system. I don't know if it's something that you need to decide tonight, but if it is something you're interested in, I can certainly let them know, and then they can bring a proposal and kind of what that grant would cost.
I think I wouldn't mind that. Otherwise, we've got streets that we have to get done before we do anything. So,
Yep.
I mean, that's the only thing I have issues with is,
Well, it makes sense.
yeah, no, we gotta do that before we can spend money any other place. So.
Right.
Yep. That makes sense to me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will let them know to bring a proposal, and I can just bring that to you guys. I don't know if they need to come. I can just let you know kind of what it would cost on CEDA's end, and kind of go about it that way. Because I think we have a decent idea of how much that trail is going to cost. The cost might be up a little bit more. I don't think it's going to be up like 50% more. But yeah, I know there's roads that got to get done, so I'll let them know that too.
Okay, yeah, I can get us grants for that, it'd be really one.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I mean, Deed has some, but those are specific to like creating commercial districts or industrial parks. They have grants for roads there, not just regular street roads, unfortunately.
No, that's fine, I mean. The Fast Aid grant application, that's, you got more than one or just the one?
So we have one that's actually completed right now. I am talking to another business owner who wants to do one. We're working on that application right now as well. It's right here on 2nd Street, so we'll have that one probably at the next meeting. But I know that's the next thing on the agenda. We'll go over that facade grant. The career fair, I don't have any updates there. I did have an update on the community gardens. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this, because I was thinking of a spot where something like that could go. And I know right over here there's the horseshoes. I'm not in town enough to know how frequently those are used, but looking at that area, we could probably get 6 decent sized plots over there, and it would be in fairly good access from the parking lot if people need to bring fertilizer or whatever for their garden, or water or whatever they need. So just thinking of access, especially for people who may be elderly, who aren't able to move as much, who want a spot, that might be a good location. Again, I'm not sure how much those are used, or if you guys would be willing to repurpose that area.
Lori, could you bring that up? Please.
I believe it is right in this area here. Yeah.
Over by the volleyball courts and too?
Yep, but not quite, because it looks like the horseshoes are right in this area. So it'd be fairly close to the parking lot, so if anyone's bringing stuff over, it's easy walking distance. They have this. They have the trail there, so I think it would work well. but it's all about whether or not you want to repurpose that, or if you want to look for a different area.
Well, see, and the reason I wanted to bring it up is where the trail goes east and west there,
Mhm.
that school owns north.
Yep, okay.
See, so you'd be,
Right here.
no, down, you see the volleyball courts are?
Yep.
Right there, on the south end of them courts.
Oh, they own that, the school.
The school owns this portion?
Yep,
Okay.
we don't have a lot line in there or nothing, but that's how it was divided out. When it was deeded over to us.
Okay.
School gets that half, that's why that football field kind of is in there,
Mm-hmm.
and we have the south half.
Gotcha.
And the pool is actually, the pool lot line is the line because the school owns the softball field and all that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if you bring that down and to the right, go north of the new football field, or the big football field.
This, the other one?
Yeah. You see, they got trees planted part
Yeah,
of
there's
that,
like a tree farm back there, right?
but there's also a garden area back there.
Okay. And that's all owned by the school?
I mean, it's something we could negotiate with.
Right. Okay.
That's what I'm looking at. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
keep it away from the park.
Right. Yeah, back there, I mean, you'd have good sun and stuff like that, so it would be a good area for that. Again, the main reason why I was thinking the horseshoe was the access point and how the proximity to the parking lot there. But I mean, that's still relatively close to the trail, so I mean, if somebody had a wagon, they can still go about it that way. But yeah, I can certainly contact the school and see if it's something that they would be interested in partnering on, and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see it up in that area.
Okay.
When you're talking a community garden, are you talking about gardens that somebody could have that space because they wanted a garden for their
Correct.
own personal use?
Correct. Yeah. So they would rent it from the city on an annual basis. I think I sent one a while back from how Rochester did it. I think it was $30 or $35 a year. So they would rent it from the city, and then they would have sole access to that plot.
I would agree with sharing on the location behind,
Mm-hmm.
just from the standpoint of if people were to rent that space and then it wasn't kept up, then it gets to be an eyesore in the middle of the park. Where this way, it's kind of out of the way, and maybe if the school wanted to partner, that might be a great way for some student service work for
Yeah.
them.
I was just gonna say something along those
Yeah.
lines too. Yeah.
Maybe growing vegetables
Mhm.
or donating to some worthy cause. I mean, the egg program with, in conjunction with the greenhouse,
Plus, I'm thinking of
Yeah.
vandalism too. I mean, if you get, the parks get used so much that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it'd be away from that, so.
Gotcha. Okay.
The only other place I'd look at, if you go west some more, or hold it to,
the park,
yeah, well, I'm looking, you know, we use that for snow removal parts of it,
right here.
right up there,
Yeah.
yeah. You see, it's a floodplain, so we can't use it for, can't be developed.
Oh, that's another good area too. Then if there's no other use for it, I mean,
And they could drive back there because there's a road that goes back to that substation.
okay. And that's owned by the city, that portion.
The one to the left is, yeah.
Okay.
That's a road there, and then to the left is city property.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, actually, everything north of the trail they could use, really.
Mhm.
Because that's all Outlot A is what we call it,
Mhm.
and that's for, we just haul snow out there in the winter time.
Right. Okay.
But
Yeah,
either one of
that's
them
weird.
two places, I wouldn't have an issue with.
Is there a preferred option?
Sure, you have to throw that at me right away.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess the reason I asked is,
I would
if
say
I want
that-
to talk to the school, I mean, if that would be the preferred option.
I would
go
say
there.
the school, let's go first,
Okay.
and we could always fall back onto this.
Perfect.
They haul a lot of snow in there,
That's what I mean.
so then we have to come up with an alternative, where you're gonna put the snow.
No, you could
You could
still,
still
you
put it
could
there.
still put it there in the winter, and
The
then,
Right.
ground would just have to be,
Yeah.
somebody would have to
Well,
make the
that's
ground
if you wanna
smooth.
put in a snow garden, I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I'm like,
no, I'm
it's
just,
the wrong day.
I'm just
Thank
looking,
you.
yeah, there's nothing else that you can be
Yeah.
in there, so.
That's right, that's right.
But I would talk to the school first.
Okay. Yeah, I can certainly do that.
The only issue would be, if you're gonna continually put snow there, what is the salt and the sand?
Well, I was thinking of that too, but, I
So
mean,
see
we got,
there,
we
I
got
think
good,
it's-
we got good grass going there all the time, so.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, that would be a second option.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, I'll talk to the school, we'll see what they say, see if they want to partner with us on it. I like Terry's idea, maybe the school would want to actually get involved and they want to rent one of the plots and use
See,
that as some sort of
they
teaching
do
option.
have little gardens back there too,
Mhm.
on the north side of the trees.
Yep.
You know, for certain things they do at school, and they got like apple trees and that there, they bring into the school for the kids to eat.
Okay. Cool.
That's what I was thinking, it'd be a good spot if we could,
Yeah, that would be a good spot. Yeah, I'll reach out to them and see what they say.
okay.
All right, so moving on, I did talk to Traven about the Fireman's Memorial, still in the planning process. He did send me a photo of what it could look like, and it looks very, very nice. I reached out to Smith. They may have a grant available to help with the funding of that, but that will open again next year. It's not open right now. But yeah, so I will look into that as that comes around again. But that is it for my report there. Did you guys have any questions for me?
No? Do you guys got any?
Did we talk about, tree removal at Cranston Heights Parks at one point?
Yeah,
And the
so
cost?
that's still in the process. I have not gotten the cost yet. I'm working with, can't even think of it. Steve, yeah, Public Works. Try to get some pricing on that.
Okay, then we have the CETA contract.
Do you want to talk about the facade improvement grant first, or the application?
Yeah, oh, yeah, okay.
Alright.
That's just for the corner bar so far, right?
Yep, Corner Bar, they do have a completed application in front of you tonight for Tracy and Brenda. They're looking to replace, well, they want to replace all the windows in that building. They're going to start with the uppers right now. They got an estimated quote here of $5,000, so they are asking for the max match there of the $2,500. Looks like their project start date would be February and finishing by April.
So, how does everybody feel about,
I don't know if it makes any difference for how I, feel about getting it done. They rent out those upper units, is that what they do, or?
Yeah, there are two rentals, so.
two apartments, yeah?
Okay. I think it's good to upgrade our properties in town, so that's what this accomplishes, is upgrade the properties. I'm for it.
Does it fall under, are they doing the downstairs windows or just the upstairs?
This one is just the uppers right now, but they will be doing the bottom ones too. So with the way the guidelines are written for this program, all it's stating is that the building needs to be zoned commercial. So that location is zoned commercial, even though it has apartments above, the building itself is zoned commercial.
And obviously, that's, well, we're looking for improvements to commercial buildings, so certainly
Yeah.
approved other things.
My opinion is anything that gets action to improving buildings in downtown, it will not just make that building look good, but it might also entice other owners downtown
And
to
we have
replace
had
stuff
other
too.
owners do it,
Yep.
so,
We need a motion?
yeah.
Make a motion that we approve the facade grant for the corner bar.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second to approve the grant for corner bar. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes, sell yourself now.
So the SEDA contract. So this contract is the exact same as what it has been in years past. We still get the same services. I'm still here 2 days a month. It looks like the price for that for the year will be $13,483.
Well, I would just like to say that, Mitch, I have been very impressed with what you brought to the table and what you're doing out there and bringing things to the table. Some really new and fresh ideas, so I really appreciate that. I think, that's an asset with you.
So, feel that way, you wanna make a motion to
I'm
approve it?
thinking on a second.
Oh,
Patrice
okay.
is having problems not being able to hear, and, I don't know if Chris realizes that, but, I don't know if she has something to say on this part, or she's texting me back.
It's muted right
Yeah,
now.
tell her to take it off of mute.
No, we're on mute.
Well, but this is different.
Where Lori is not muted.
Yeah, see, Chris runs this through the, I
But-
don't run
But
the,
Patrice has gotta take her off of mute too.
okay. This is, can you unmute council chambers, but.
What about the one in the upper left there?
I don't know.
That's the problem.
Go in and hit that, or,
I don't think she can.
See, Chris is running
He's
the.
running.
Chris is
Oh.
running it.
Yeah,
We're not really,
He's doing it. Did
Yeah.
she just call us?
that's why I asked her.
If you could put it on speaker.
It's-
and she can't hear us.
She can't hear anything we're saying.
Oh.
And I don't know, she had asked some questions about CETA in the past, so I don't know if she.
no, there she, no, she may.
Oh, so I think she's, there she is.
I love it.
Can you hear us, Patrice?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, sir. Yes,
Okay.
that's good.
So do you have something you wanna bring to the council on the contract for the CETA?
Okay, you're talking about that now?
Yep,
Okay. Did you want my comment?
yeah, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I think there's a lot of good things, potential things in it. Has anybody listed what CETA has been able to do, helping us? You know, there was the depot, and then that got all changed around. It seems they kind of get started in things and it gets changed.
Well,
And, I mean, not that it's their fault, it's not theirs, it's just the way things happen.
yeah. But we've done a lot of this facade stuff for different buildings, different downtown, and that all came through them.
Oh, it did, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And it's an improvement and they have brought things to the city, but we're kind of holding our feet on land issues on a few things and because we don't have the land for it, you know. And there's a few things I'd like to see them do yet, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm listening to you right now.
okay, and I mean, if there's more things that they can participate in, I guess I would be in favor of it. I think, the other thought was they try to help, entrepreneurs. And with this COVID thing, there seems to be more of those people popping out. I don't know so much in Goodhue, but, they'd be available for help for that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's part of the contract, yes, is if there's an entrepreneur, I'm here to help them, and I am working with a couple, again, that's why that market analysis with the restaurant was done, because somebody approached me about it. So things like that we do bring to the table.
Didn't see the help with, didn't see the help with the farmer's market too?
oh, big time on the farmer's market. Did you hear that, Patrice?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
that they helped a lot on the farmer's market.
They actually got that off the ground for us.
Okay. So do they have an idea for a person to take over?
Mitch is gonna do it.
Okay.
I thought like daughter, like mother.
Oh, no. Nothing like that.
The other thing that I was thinking about, you know, with Lori retiring, you know, that leaves a gap too, that we're gonna need some continuity. So we're gonna need some help pushing some things along where this new person coming in is not gonna be able to maybe, she's not gonna have, or he, the knowledge base that Lori has. So it might be a great transition year. We can't afford to let all the people go who know a lot of stuff, because we've gotta.
And I agree 100% with you.
That's
I know it. That's spooky, isn't it?
Meeting's not over yet. Okay.
No, so then, if you're in agreement with it, can I get a motion to?
I'll make the motion to approve the contract, the CETA contract.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is made and second to approve the contract for CETA. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, you wanna go on? Or is it me?
Go on.
Okay, we have any other business? for the EDA. Can I get a motion to adjourn the EDA?
I have one question.
Okay.
So when you're working on a project and you're not able to come with names or anything yet, is that standard procedure if they say, we really don't want it
Yep,
public yet?
a lot of times, I mean, if somebody's trying to open a new business or something
Okay.
like that, they don't want everyone to know what type of business it is or who they are. That's pretty standard across the board. Yeah. And I personally, I try to keep that confidential until there's something the public needs to know, because you really don't want to get the public excited about something and then be told, okay, it's actually not happening.
Just curious about that. Thank you.
So I get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second to adjourn the EDA meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Motion's carried. We'll go into the council meeting. Stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I get a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion made and second to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Approve the minutes of the October 13th council meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Do I get a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second to approve the minutes of the October 13th council meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Old business.
Yes, I had one thing, and maybe I could ask Terry about this. Well, are we gonna, what do you think about having additional changes or bringing the recreational vehicle? Are we kind of at a little standstill on that now, or?
Think we need to revisit it
Okay,
one more time.
okay,
There's
okay.
just a couple,
Well, you and I can work on that then?
yep,
Okay.
and some issues there.
Okay, all
So,
right,
but it's very, very close.
okay, all right, thank you.
Any other old business to be brought forward? Let's go into new business. Christmas market liquor license in the J.C.'s. Anybody got any information on that?
That's me.
Oh, okay.
Mitch Brewer, I'm here for Trade and Karen tonight.
Mitch, you want to come up here and grab the mic so people can hear you, please? Thank you.
Mitch Brewer here for Traben Karen tonight. I'm looking to have a liquor license for the J.C.'s on December 4th at the Goodhue Christmas Market. I think the last year would have been the only other year this was thought of. I think it gets a signature or something, but I got a piece of insurance paper here with it to go with it. You guys have any questions?
I do. What are you looking to do?
We'd like to serve some hot chocolate, and if people would like a shot of some sort of liquor in their hot chocolate, or and then we would also have a German wine with some liquor in it, I think is the two things that we're going to be doing.
You got a tent set up or a booth or?
Yep. We do have insurance with the certificate of liability insurance with the Peters Agency here for that. And I got the application for the liquor license here also.
You said we've done it before?
It was brought up for last year's. If we would have had last year's Christmas market, it would have. Yep.
So this is my concern, serving liquor at a Christmas, a family kind of Christmas event in the city, on the city streets again. And we have 2 bars at each corner of that marketplace that people could go in and if they wanted to do that. But I'm a little bit concerned about that. We're attracting families to come and buy their Christmas trees and have a wholesome kind of Christmas experience, and then we start serving liquor at it. I don't think that sends the right message.
This is the day we shut the whole street down and everything for that, yeah, that's.
And it's in the morning, correct?
No, it's noon.
It is, you know,
6, I think.
It's noon to 6.
noon
Yeah.
to 6.
Yeah.
So this would be like wassail. I mean, that's common. It's a mulled wine.
What?
I mean, that's common at a Christmas market though.
Yeah.
I've been to the ones in the cities and they do sell that.
Now, these funds, that you're gonna be hopefully making a profit at this, what, do you have plans for those funds, or do you know?
We do not have plans for
Just
those
raising-
funds. Yeah, no plans, I guess.
Generally for the CC, okay.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've
You know, I
never
know in the
attended,
past
so-
they've given out, you know, a liquor license for, beer and wine. But I just, when they're trying to grab people in to come to our businesses and patronize our businesses and then, you know, then you're selling hard liquor again. I just,
I guess my first thought was, you know, try it, if it seems to be a detriment, you know, then we don't do it again, you know? That was my first thought.
Well, yeah, if it's a common thing, like Lori said, I've never been to one, so I guess I'm not familiar at all with what they revolve around.
How do you feel, Patrice?
Well, I'm torn. I think the wine or beer might be okay, but I just don't know about the hard liquor. I guess that's a difference, I guess. I don't know, do we need to do some more research about what happens at these German things?
Well, we could
Did
table.
somebody say that we had been at one?
Well, in the city, but you're talking about harder alcohol. Well, wassail, I think is just this mulled wine,
mulled wine.
you know. So if you were to say that, that's one thing.
We could just do that too.
You know, I don't know.
Do a beer and a wine thing, maybe?
I don't have an issue with this wine part, it's the rest of it, but
Okay.
I don't have these people go, I just run the meeting, so.
Well, if this is something that, and I don't know exactly how long all this takes, but if this is something that could be brought up again next meeting, I know Traven will probably be here for the next one.
In 2 weeks,
Yeah.
we'll be back.
So the 10th, we'd have time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's something we need to think about a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, we're gonna table this for 2 weeks.
Okay. Nope, that sounds fine. I think Traven will be here, so.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay.
Nick.
Thank
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
yeah, thanks, Mitch. Snow quotes.
Passing down. I have one is today's and one left. Try to grab one for the recorder too.
Well, it's last
Oh,
year.
that's just, okay.
Lori kept everything the same.
Well, it's just, yeah, it's, $10 more and $5 more for the dump box to be operated.
Patrice doesn't have a copy of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Patrice,
How
I'll read,
many-
I'll
How
read them.
many,
Okay, two, Patrice, what we have here is Lodermeyer's always bid on the blower and they one truck. Last year, their rate was $160 an hour. This year, it's $170 an hour proposal. For their truck, they want $95 an hour. Last year, they were at 90. Now, Nori, he just provides he provides a couple trucks, a grader if we need it, and some other material, but his price did not go up. It's the same as last year. Trucks are $80 an hour. The motor grader's $86 an hour, and $50 an hour for pickup with a plow. This, of course, includes an operator along with the equipment itself. Is that correct, Gary?
yep.
My first thought is with no increase and with a minor increase, and with the way prices are going in general, we should grab it.
Yeah, just the diesel alone has gone up so much since last year.
I mean, all we have to do is just, accept the quotes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, we're not accepting bids, strictly quotes.
Right.
Just for later, public comment.
Okay.
So, did we use both of these last year, or
Yeah, we
Yeah.
always use two.
two? Okay, that's what I,
It's the same as last year, we just accept the quotes.
oh,
Make a motion, to accept the quotes, and basically, that's, we use what we can,
oh,
or what we have to, I should say.
okay.
okay, so you use both of them then,
Yes,
correct, okay, okay.
And
Well, that sounds easy.
it is, I mean.
Just do it.
That sounds like a motion?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'll second it.
I move. Mhm.
Okay, I got a motion made and seconded to approve the snow quotes for 2021. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Sewer and water rates.
So the first page of this is the ordinance. So January of 2020, we raised our rates.
That's this one?
Yes. So, and then the next page is the water and sewer,
Budget.
budget. So the first line is 2020 actual for water, 20,700 in, the black. And then year to date right now, we're 27,000 in the red. And the reason being is we have a substantial bond payment that we make in August, so we're still making up for that. I'm forecasting that we'll be 16,000 in the black by the end of the year. Sewer, 37,000 actual last year in the black, and then, year to date, right now, we're 6,000 in the black, but my forecast is that, we will not be, we'll be, in the red by the end of the year because of the $25,000 transfer we make into the new facility fund. So when we started to do that, we were able to, still be in the black while making that, so we probably need to look at our sewer rate. And Patrice was bringing up some good thoughts today earlier. Weren't they, if we built the new facility, it was about $92,000 a year to run that, but we need to find out, is that all of our fees, or will we also have fees here in town, and, you know, some of that to look forward to.
Well, you're gonna have some fees in town because if we have something go wrong, or we have rotor or sewers out
Yep,
or something, that's a given.
and we have the lift, and,
And the other thing on here, as long as we're in it, I'll bring it up, is we lost the main drive on the main pump here this last weekend, and that's gonna cost quite a bit to fix too.
yep.
I don't know,
Water
Is that when
pressure
the
was
water?
down for,
yeah, that's why a lot of people had no water right away on Monday morning.
Monday morning.
I took
Oh
a
my
really good
gosh.
shower.
But I mean, we got the second well running so we could get everybody back on, so we are redundant. But we still, that's our main well, and we have to fix that. They're supposed to come in, I thought, yesterday no, he wasn't there Monday night or Tuesday night to find out what we needed for parts, because they didn't want Steve to even look at it till they made sure they knew what it was. Because otherwise they could have done something else and it would have been a lot worse, you know. So I'm not sure the price on it, but I know we're gonna have a substantial bill on it, so. 'Cause it's the main drive for the well.
So Steve and I probably should come back at the next meeting with a more solid
Yes.
idea of what we're going to need, because he wants to do some stuff on the sewer yet too, that he'll need to do next year. So I need to know what that amount is as well, but I think it's safe to say we should
We're
look
gonna,
at raising our rates a little every year anyway, to stay ahead of this.
I thought we talked about that last year,
Yeah.
raising it so much every year.
Right. We probably, oh, Steve's watching, new drive is in and operating.
Pardon?
Steve has texted me, new drive is in and operating on well number 1.
Okay,
So
so
he's got it done.
he does have it fixed, that's good. I just know it's gonna cost us some money.
You didn't say a price on what, did they estimate the cost?
Hear that, Steve?
Steve, did they estimate a cost?
Do we have money set aside too for sewer? I mean,
Well, we've been transferring 25,000 a year for the last few years into a new sewer fund, or new facility fund.
yeah,
So,
would that be an option for this
um,
need or not?
well, possibly, I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Allocate that.
You know, I think with this year, it's 100,000 in there, but don't quote me. I will pay attention better for the next meeting.
For the next meeting?
Yeah, so just look
Yeah.
at this, if you have some questions, send them to me before, so I can work some numbers, if you wanna see some different things.
And the reason I bring that up is if we're not gonna get a new facility here, maybe we use that money then for what we needed, you know, at the time, or now.
Right,
So-
but we will still need probably some money towards that new
Sure,
facility
sure.
that we'll have to pay down, or,
Okay,
so, I mean,
something to talk about,
Yep.
maybe like say the next one.
yep, so Steve and I'll come back with some more information on that. Recycling and collection and disposal is the next page. Oh, way down.
There you go.
Steve says, no, they didn't tell me price, fifth first day later, I guess 10,000. But I am not sure, the one that burns out cost 6,000 10 years ago.
Possibly double.
Yeah.
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 All right, so collection, recycling, disposal. So if you look at 21, where we have the issue is the disposal, and that is because our costs have gone up substantially in Red Wing when we dispose of our garbage. The way the rates were set, and this goes back to the beginning of the time I've been here, we were charging more for collection than disposal, which is a little wonky at this point now. It doesn't make sense, but once we put all these 3 things go into one account, so at the end of the day, like at the end of the year, I'm guessing we'll be about $7,500 in the red. Because collection will make up for some of the disposals, but we will need to raise disposals amount. And there I need to look at, residential, senior, and commercial. Then we need to all go up a bit.
What's your projection?
Well, it's $1.39 a month for everyone, if we just went straight across the board. And that would be putting us at break even. that may be, okay for next year, I don't know, because I'm not thinking that our rates in Red Wing are gonna go up. They've raised them so substantially that, but there's no guarantee.
Is there any way to find out if they are gonna go up?
I could give them a call.
Would they tell you?
I would think they would tell me if they are talking about it, or considering it.
That might help.
Better.
So, okay, well, we'll, talk more about that next time too.
Sounds good. Okay. Get a motion to table that till next meeting.
I'll second.
Motion made and second to table sewer and water rates till next meeting, all in favor, and garbage rates, right? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Clerk position update.
But today is the deadline, and I suppose maybe there'll be something in the mailbox or waiting for me emailed in the morning. But at this point, we have 6. Some good talent, so I think we should have a good pool there.
Mm-hmm.
What are my 2 people thinking here of when can we get together and start?
Well, the only time I have free this next 2 weeks is Friday.
You're retired.
I wish I was retired.
Well, you are, you're half retired, aren't you?
I'm at Lions meetings every
So am I, look at my.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, first I would like to meet though with you guys and go over interview questions and look at the applications. We are not ready to call people in on Friday.
No.
No, we have to look.
No, that's what I'm
Miss Terry,
thinking.
would you consider having somebody else take your place in the interview process? We know what you're looking for.
Oh, if somebody has time, I don't really have an
I
issue
think-
with it.
I think Wayne was the original HR person here, right?
Yeah,
Or-
true. And when do we need to meet for this?
Well, I would, if, soon, so that we can at least start, looking for applicants and.
I'm leaving Friday for a hunting trip. No, Friday,
Two
Saturday,
People
Sunday.
that have lives are so annoying.
I'll be back
No,
Monday,
no.
but I'll probably be half, shot. But I'm here for Tuesday.
Well, maybe Terry and I could just do interview questions. Are you available?
Yeah, we should.
Look at her calendar.
Or do you guys want to talk about this later? We did not have to take up council time,
Yeah.
but let's get together. If anybody's listening that wants the job, we're getting there.
We're getting there. Yeah, let's talk and just pick some dates.
Yes, and then,
Okay.
Is that too late Monday or Tuesday?
no, it's not too late. Maybe Terry and I can get together before. So,
Okay,
Okay.
okay, all right.
Well, I might stop in tomorrow after work, because I'll get off at noon,
Okay,
then I can stop in for a little bit.
okay.
Okay, well, hang on here. Tomorrow is what?
Thursday.
Thursday. So noon, I can come at noon tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm open. Okay.
Okay.
You're off the hook.
Yeah.
I mean, I got things I gotta do, start at 3 o'clock, so.
Oh, me too. So that's perfect.
Mhm.
Okay,
Got
see
it.
you tomorrow. Yeah.
Noon. Okay,
No lunch tomorrow. No.
so working on.
A working lunch, there you go.
Goodhue sign-up dates.
We had a meeting and Patrice was there and Traven and Joe Benda. And so we had a lot of good ideas, some good dialogue. Joe is, What we decided is due to cost, it's probably in our best interest right now to do 2 signs, because they will be expensive, so maybe one out on 9, and then the one here. The reason we kind of rationalize that is because the big city of Goodhue sign, you can see it coming from the east on 9, and you can see it on 58 for now. We'd like to update the Goodhue sign and just get the new businesses and take the ones that aren't on there and update that. So Traven was looking at that and measuring and just making sure, especially with the roundabout. Joe is going to, he was going to visit with Meyer Signs in Mazeppa and get some ideas with him and talk about different kind of material and different products that he could use, and to come up with some ideas. We definitely had some good ideas on what we wanted on it. We kind of went back to the original Goodhue logo, because that was what was adopted, Goodhue, a community city. So, and putting that on the sign as well. Patrice, anything that I missed?
I guess it's just a matter to find out how, what the cost is gonna be for, a fairly simple sign like it is, or if we're gonna, have more shape to it, or it just depends on what the sign makers say.
Yeah. And so we wanted a reference point just to get some other ideas and have just, a couple ideas out there and see. So that's where we're at, and we'll meet again once, Mr. Benda comes back with some ideas. Is that a fair assumption, Patrice?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Sounds good.
That's all we have.
Okay. November and December meetings, we usually just have the first meeting of the month for the simple fact of Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, I mean, that's, this is on there for us to make a motion just to have the 2, one each month. We have to have the December one because that's when we finalize the budget.
Are you able to come in on the first 2, or do you have another city?
I'm not sure about the November one, I'll have to look, but the December one I should be able to make work.
Okay.
Is that gonna be enough with just the 2 of them with Lori's departure? That's my concern.
Well, I think the other one's in right next to Thanksgiving.
Is it? Do we?
Yeah, I have it up there, so the Thanksgiving's the 25th, so the second meeting would be the 24th.
Could we move them both and go the 3rd and the 17th? Then we could get 2 in November at least. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, the fire department stuff is on Tuesdays, so it doesn't matter, it'll just be 2 nights in a row. It's
I
not a
won't
big
make
deal.
either one of them, so.
I mean, I guess asking you, Lori, I mean, what are the things that we need to do as far as wrapping up with you?
Well, I don't know that council would be so much part of that. I think I
Okay.
really need to teach the person what's going out there. I mean, this part of it, I mean, you figure it out, and Chris is so good at helping with this recording equipment that if we only get one time doing that, that'll be okay.
Sure.
That's definitely busy those 2 months, so I mean, if we had to cut them out.
And we always have.
So you always have 3 December.
If I could make a suggestion,
Yes.
maybe I have a tentative, maybe set a couple tentative special meeting dates. So that if we have to call a special meeting to discuss those particular issues, then we can do that.
You know?
Well, we could do the meeting on the 10th, and then, use the 17th as our
As a potential
an
special
extra
meeting.
if something came up.
Yeah,
But we don't have to call it at this point, we only have to publish 3 weeks in advance.
And then a tentative. But you said you wouldn't be here, Larry?
Nope.
In December, you can do the same thing. Looks like the 8th is the meeting, first one in December. But there is, you could work with the 29th, I suppose, if you needed an extra in December. Right before New Year's, but.
When are you anticipating having this person in place?
2 weeks after we offer the job. If they have to give 2 weeks notice.
Yeah.
I know, I'm running out of time.
Whose fault is that?
Hey, you said wait, and then you were sick or something, so I had to wait another 2 weeks. It's your fault.
No, okay. I'll
So we've
take,
got November 10th and then a tentative November 17th for a special meeting if it needs to be called. We're gonna stick with the 8th of December. Are we gonna have a tentative on another one?
The 22nd or the 29th, so.
then you get closest
So
next meeting in
since,
January.
Oh, yeah. that
Christmas
would
falls
be-
on Saturday, staff has off full day on the 24th, and then we have a half day on the 23rd. So those are our holidays.
I think we're gonna be okay, I really do, because we haven't never run into problems. Your new replacement is mostly you anyway. And just shoot, they'll be introduced to us on the 8th. Or even November, whatever, probably the 8th of December.
Yeah, this is probably the quickest.
So, yeah, I don't foresee a problem. And if we do, we could always call a special meeting if something
Right,
comes up.
right.
I mean.
Do you need a motion to cancel the 2?
Well, we need a motion just to have one meeting for both November and December. And if we
Oh, right.
if we have to, we can always call it, so.
So we just have.
Yep.
I'll make the motion.
Do I get a second?
I'll second it.
Motion made and second to only have one meeting in December and November. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Public comment.
You're up. There you go.
You know, I don't think you need I don't need that. But,
That's for people out there to hear.
It's really
oh, okay, I'm sorry. Well, my name is Sue Scanlon and I live over on 30 Manor Avenue.
We've got a mess living next door to us.
What's your address?
30 Manor Avenue.
I know which one you mean.
Well, I know it's a site, isn't it?
That's the first one in
When you
there?
come around the bend.
But it's the first one by the car wash, right? That's
No,
right.
no.
In the back,
Uh-uh,
okay.
in the back.
When you go down where the
Okay.
houses.
Yep.
When you go down, make the corner, they're the first one on the left,
Okay.
right next to that. Used to be a blue house, but.
I don't know, but it's terrible.
But that's,
You
you're
know,
you're
there-
talking the trailer.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
With the room that's added on. I don't know how on God's earth they even get in there. And there's so much
We had a
junk.
talk with that one on, with the new owners
Yeah.
already. Yeah.
So you're right.
Yeah, but I thought he owned that, or no?
I'm not sure, that's what we were talking about, he was gonna check for it.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about here?
Fred,
Oh, here, okay.
Oh, so that's 29. You're 30, okay, I see.
Yeah, we're 30.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
okay,
It does.
so is that where the other people still own that? They want the city to take over the road, but they still owned it, or how did that work?
they own the road yet.
Oh, they own the road, okay.
Yeah, but we're not, where ours is
City
ours.
owns the street by you.
Yep.
In front of me?
I think that's right
Well,
where it
if
quits.
this is correct, it looks like it's not.
It shouldn't be
Blackbird.
because we own our own property.
Yeah.
No, we're talking the city street.
Oh, okay, it's on the other side of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
But
was
you know
getting
too,
at.
when you blacktop that time, we never got any new blacktop coming around our corner there either.
See, here's the
Yeah,
cutoff
that's a
though,
cutoff,
right
is right
here.
before your driveway,
If
yeah.
you can see where my arrow is.
Oh.
So it's really not in front of your house. Your street is part of Ram's Road. You know, in front of your house.
Yeah,
Well, I see what you're saying
Okay.
there.
I
But I
don't
thought the
understand it,
blacktop
but.
went around the corner. Cause that's where we were having
No, you
issues.
cut off right at the people next door to
Yeah,
us.
Skordal's here.
Yeah,
Are
and
the
actually-
other ones.
The first year that they decided not to do the snow plowing on the other side, they quit at our house and they weren't gonna plow snow.
Okay, so according to that, Fred owns that lot then, right,
Mm-hmm.
Lori?
Right, but I think there's a renter.
Oh, that's a renter in there?
There's a
I thought
renter.
they sold that.
No, it's still in his name.
Oh, really?
It's right here.
Fred and Marge?
Yep.
Okay, got ya.
Because I know that 20 and that 28. And then there was like 3 of them down on that end.
Oh, well, I bet the weeds are this high. And then they've got 2 metal sheds and that one last storm that we had, they broke apart, you know. So he's got mattresses and stuff in there. I don't want damn rats and mice.
Oh.
We keep our place really nice, unless you wanna put up a fence, I would agree with that.
Wow, can we contact that Fred, somebody contact that Fred?
Well, I think we ordered out. I think we gotta get out
Yeah,
and
okay.
Steve take some
I think-
pictures tomorrow.
Well, you know,
Take efficient action.
last summer,
Yeah,
the police came over our lawn with, 2 of the people on the other side of Countryside Manor. But I don't know what happened, but they must have been sick of all his crap too, I don't know, it's ridiculous.
Well, let's have Steve go take some pictures tomorrow, and then we'll contact them. Well, we've done it,
We've done it before, yeah.
and we've
Yeah,
done
but
it.
he doesn't follow through with nothing.
Well, I can guarantee you, this council will make them follow
well,
through.
Good, thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Right?
just terrible.
well, especially
You
if you
know-
own the property next to them.
Normally, we were always down at the camper over the summer months, but that one time we came home early. They were grilling right next to our side of our property. They left their seasoning lay on the ground, threw their chairs on the ground and their bottles or whatever they were drinking and paper stuff. You know, that's uncalled for.
Right.
Yep, you're right.
I don't like it, cause we like to keep our place nice and neat.
And we appreciate that
Thank you,
very much,
yeah.
Okay, we'll get right on that tomorrow.
yeah.
Well,
So then if you ever get some extra blacktop, could you head her over my way?
Like we said, we're trying to work with them to get that
Okay.
whole end of that street improved.
Yeah,
I think,
we never drive down that street, it's got too many holes. You guys
No,
come down on the second Manor Avenue.
but I mean, we've been trying to work with Ram on that.
Mhm. Well, was this a rumor, or are they gonna do something with the mobile home park to improve it?
That's what they're talking, yeah.
Oh, praise the Lord.
they're talking about selling to another company that, is.
That's
really
gonna
good
take
about-
pride in what they
Yeah, they're
do?
good about,
Yeah.
updating.
Yeah, updating houses down there and everything else, so.
Well, some of them aren't suitable to live in, let's put it that way.
There's 2 in the other trailer park that is condemned.
Yeah.
They just haven't been moved out. I thought they were gonna be out of there by
I'll
now.
tell you what, when you first go into the first part of Manor Avenue, those people there that are renting that, they painted and everything.
Some of
It
them are
made a big
frustrated.
difference, it caught your eye.
Yeah.
So you know that they wanna take care of what they have,
Yeah.
even if it isn't theirs.
We'll see what we can do tomorrow, starting tomorrow with you, for you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You bet.
Good
Thanks.
luck.
thank you for coming.
Thank-
Oh, you're
thank you,
welcome.
Sue.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? No. Mayor's concerned. I have one. I've sent a couple different phone calls. And a guy that wants to buy our north property, north of the twin homes. He wants to develop it and put it into a cluster housing development. He wants to know if we'll be willing to sell it.
Which property is that?
He wants to make it into a what?
It's cluster housing, they're closer together.
Oh.
It's coming. So you said north?
No, yep, on the other side of the creek.
Okay. Like up here?
No,
No.
our property.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, down here.
No,
No.
No.
you gotta go north.
No, it takes a minute to catch up.
Are the
Okay.
twin homes?
North of the twin homes.
Okay. That's right here then.
No, that would be west.
Still go north.
Oh,
Go
no,
on.
these
Oh,
are
on the other
twin
side.
homes.
Oh.
Okay, Carrie, these are twin homes. These are the ones.
No,
I'm
That's
talking
not the
about.
one I'm talking
Oh,
about. I'm
The
talking
existing twin home.
Okay.
Oh, up here.
Okay.
on the north side of the waterway going through there.
Oh, so I didn't realize the city
Oh.
owned all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we own all the way to the trees, to the
Okay.
old dirt road.
There.
Sure, isn't that's not a water issue down through there?
Well,
Back here.
Up
Yeah.
on where
That's
her
up through
arrow
there,
is
yeah.
down on the right is a
Yeah.
floodplain,
Yeah.
so there's no, and I told him that.
Huh,
But he's talking more about up here where her arrow is now,
Yeah.
that partial.
huh.
He understands about the creek and everything going through there, but he wants to know if we'd be willing to sell that if he wants to develop it.
One of the issues was getting across the creek and building a road, and
That would be his issue.
that's all gonna be here.
You know, bringing the sewer and water out to us, then we'd tie in.
But
There's
he never really
there's
has-
already, right there where
So
Lori's
right
arrow is already designed for a street to go over there.
that's why, is that why that vacant lot is there, Carrie?
Yep,
Right there.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, there has been discussions about that before, but the
We-
impediment always was the
the,
cost of what we gotta do to get over this, and then, doesn't this, Carrie, where does the sewer flow, doesn't it go down? Where does it
it
go?
goes east on Fifth Avenue,
Okay. Where does it go after it gets to Fifth Avenue? Does it go,
then it goes up to Fourth Avenue.
so it's pumped, it gets lifted, or it goes up?
No, it's
No,
gravity
it's all
flow.
gravity. Oh, okay.
There's a few of the twin homes that have basements in there have got lift pumps.
Okay.
So he would think to access it from Fifth Avenue, is that where, so he'd have to put some kind of a big,
A
culvert and stuff?
bridge in there or
Yep,
something.
because I mean, it would have to be big enough for the fire trucks if there's any trouble. I mean, that'd be substantial amount of
I
money.
think there was some actual preliminary engineering done at that at one time and what it was gonna.
Well, we did it
Wasn't
at
it,
one
Gary?
time because we were gonna develop there right away and then we decided against it.
I have two comments on that. You know, that's obviously not an area that for the city, did they anticipate with the sewer and capacity, everything to the east, they planned in and that it would accommodate the sewer and the water and our pump system.
What do you
But-
mean to the east?
Well,
if
it's
you go
already
to the
figured into
east,
the east.
That's
yeah.
all been figured in
To the
and
west, you mean?
The west, yeah.
West, yeah. And so that's been figured in that we have the capacity to handle that. You put something in over here, has that ever been put into the equation?
Yeah, we just had to put a lift pump in there. Like we do up there by the twin homes there, for right now until our sewer gets there, but this would automatically have to have a lift station at it.
No, but I think she's talking about the capacity
For
to
the
treat
sewer.
all the.
To
Oh,
treat everything.
Yeah, we had a capacity for, like, before we did the twin homes, there were almost 150 houses yet.
Oh, okay.
And if we go with what we're doing now,
Would we wanna see a proposal of what this would look like first?
Well, my question is to you people, I can't bring a lot forward yet, is will we consider selling?
The other question I would have is, again, the runoff from the development there into that drainage.
That all has to be in his engineering. I mean, that's,
Yeah, I mean, there are.
when we develop, we have to have that too. You know, like we do our ponds and that, this will be a private development.
Yeah.
But he's still, his cost and everything. And then when it's like the Homes Edition up there, when they got done, then they brought it to the city. So we took over the streets and that. And that'd be basically the same thing here.
Well, and when he's talking cluster homes and putting them closer together, obviously that's a concentrated area. How many homes was he talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah, and then,
This is, he wants to know if we'd be willing to sell it, and then he would come back with designs and everything.
So it's just a matter of would we be willing to sell
Yes.
for that?
That's all I'm
purpose.
asking.
Yeah.
All I'm asking right now, would we be willing to sell it?
I just think we have other bigger fish to fry right now. Streets and, you know, I love the green space.
But that's not what I'm asking, Terry.
Okay, I would say
Any-
no.
Cause anything that he does in there is on his dollar, not
Right.
ours. We don't have any dollars involved except taking the sale of the land. That goes into our cost.
And every one of those houses would be paying the city taxes? That's
Yes.
still, okay.
Yep.
Well, that would bring more revenue, but a lot, but,
And we don't have any development costs in it.
right.
Well, but he's gonna ask for something,
He's
right?
gonna ask.
Well,
That's part of the what you do, you have to enter a
Right.
development agreement,
Yep,
which would say, I'll do this, and this, and, you know,
This-
if he was, if he was
yeah.
gonna go spend $2 million or something, I'm just throwing out a figure, just to throw, you know, he's probably gonna say, you know, only way I can afford it is if you do this or something, I'm just saying that, you know.
Yeah, but if we were to say yes and tell him to bring everything to the table, we could still deny it, right?
Oh, sure, no, you would, there's two ways you would really control it. Number one is the sale of the land itself, and that what I'm hearing from consensus that you probably wouldn't sell it to him unless you knew exactly what he was gonna do,
You know,
right?
you know,
Vegas.
If you did it, and then, right?
Yeah.
The thing about it is, would we be willing to sell it and then?
I mean, let's take an example, you go to Harold Frederickson's, he ain't gonna sell
Right,
it. He ain't gonna, I mean, I don't know that, but it's, you know, he just, I think, is that kind of what the comparison carry, or what do you think?
basically, yes. I mean, if we're willing to sell it, then he would take the next step. If we say no, then he's done. Simple as that. We want tax revenue to come in, that's what you gotta look at. I mean, you can't just say because I like the green space, no. I mean, because you're looking for everybody in this city, you're not looking at just for yourself.
right.
And that's what you gotta keep in mind.
I would like to at least bring it to the table and see what he's got going, and, you know.
Well, that, he will if we would say.
Yeah, I think
the
he's being-
probability of doing it, yes.
I think he's being a little reasonable, not unreasonable to say, will you sell it to him? I think I hear a consensus that you're willing to talk about it a little bit more, but not make it, nobody. is he
No,
gonna
no,
make-
and that's what I'm asking,
Yeah.
because I've got another meeting with him.
Oh, okay.
I think if he's gotta bring more to the table than just say, well, if you guys wanna sell it, then I'll bring something to the table. It's not,
Well, the
Good business.
consensus is,
Yeah.
would we be willing to sell it if he brought stuff to the table? That's what I'm asking. If you're gonna say, no, I'm not gonna sell it at all, then we're done.
What's the value of the land right now, just renting it for cropland or what?
That's all we get, we don't make any money on that
Right,
either.
yeah,
So it's not green space, it's cornfields with beans.
right, exactly, and I mean, if he could bring something to the table, if we said, yeah, we'll be interested in selling if you can make it so it's worthwhile.
That's exactly what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah, you
That'd be
know,
our concern.
right, you know,
Yeah. I mean, there'd be a lot of things to look at, but you know, I would be willing to sell, but I wanna see, there'd be a lot of things to consider. You know, like the one concern I had there, with the water and runoff, and that's gonna be a lot more that's going into that drainage.
Well,
That's
I
already
mean,
a tight
there
situation.
would have, if he did that, there'd have to be another pond on the north side of that, on his part of it, just like we do up in Frederick's.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
in theory,
Yeah.
in theory, no, in theory,
Yeah, in theory.
it's not supposed to, whatever the runoff is there today, in theory, it's not supposed to be increased by development. Now, that's theory.
Sure.
But they're going to have to, I mean, it's, when you're dealing with, it's not like the city, you're doing development, you set how it's gonna be, you decide, blah, 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 blah. This is a different deal because, you know, again, there's two ways.
Basically, it's the same thing Stairs ran into with Fab Tech. Except we built the road in there for it. Otherwise, I mean, we didn't do anything else, but we didn't own the land. He went to Stairs because that's who owned the land. He's asking us, he thinks this would fit for his thing, and that's why he's asking if we'd be willing to sell it.
But the best way to address all the concerns is upfront through the sale. I mean, you'd also have the planning process you'd have to prove, there'd be a development agreement, the engineering, there's a bunch of.
What is it, acreage, what does it exist of for acreage? It can't be that much acreage, is it?
I was thinking that was 6, wasn't it, Lori? How much do we get for,
What your dynamic measurement tool there, Lori.
well, you wouldn't.
It doesn't like.
Like dynamic.
No, but I'm just
That's
saying.
what it's called.
That's just a rough estimate. Is it 5 acres? Is it 10 acres?
I thought it was 6.
I thought I wanted to say 6 too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 6 too on the north side.
That's what we ran out,
Yeah.
I think, something like that.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Because just to sell the cropland, what they're getting, that's what I was asking, what they're selling cropland, I mean, for farmers, what they're selling it for is pretty ridiculous. That
Well,
last one just brought 10,000.
10,000.
Yeah, right over, just on the other side of town over here, up 6.
Well, but
We just paid 11.
Yeah, right.
That we paid from Frederickson?
Yeah, 40, it was 4 acres, we paid 46,000.
No, so I mean, if they already paid 10,000, yep, I don't know, I just.
But I ain't saying that it's even worth it. The thing about right now, and that we'd have to come up with a price after a while too. But right now is, if he's willing to look at it, if we're willing to sell it, that's what. I mean, the city we always look at sometime we're gonna have to develop it. But it's saving the city a lot of money.
Oh, by far, and then it would bring in a lot of revenue, I mean, that's a lot more taxes and.
Do you really need a motion though at this point in time, you think, or not?
I
I don't think you wanted to commit to anything.
No, but I mean, I'm looking for a consensus.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Patrice go on or she go on?
She's on.
She's under there.
Oh, she is?
There she
Oh,
is.
okay, I didn't know she was going.
Cluster housing, who would be interested in owning that kind of property?
I don't know.
I can fill in a little bit. We actually, this very conversation was just on one of the housing seminars last week or 2 weeks ago that's going on in Goodhue County. So cluster homes, they tend to be 8 to 10 houses on about an acre and a half. A lot of people who live there, they're slab on grade homes. They're either older people, they're also younger people too, or just starting out. They're a little bit more affordable housing. A lot of times the way they design them is like a circle, and then there's like a community garden space in between the middle. So it's a really neat way to fit more housing on less land. And some of the designs I've seen they're pretty nice houses.
Huh.
So that's kind of the general idea of around the cluster housing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, would that be the only access to get in there? Is off of Fifth Avenue? on
Well,
that?
unless
Because you have to go across, there doesn't look to be much space from in between the trail, can you just,
we have 60-foot streets and that's bigger than 60 foot.
Right away, 60 feet, you mean?
Yeah, right away 60 foot.
Right. So the road would come through,
Yep. Right,
and then
right.
it would stay on this side of the water run.
No,
You'd have to cross
you'd have to cross the
Right.
waterway and then his streets would be up there.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, you have to put a bridge in for the water flow
Yeah,
and stuff
that-
right
yeah.
there, yeah.
Okay.
That included approval from the DNR too.
Oh, I would think there'd
I
have to
would
be some
think
involved in that.
there's a lot of stuff
Lot of
involved in
stuff
it. That's
to
why
consider.
he doesn't wanna go any farther if we don't, said no one, that we
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
consider anything, you know. Plus, in the way that plot is standing, I would still keep a 50-foot strip from behind the twin homes there for that trail. We have.
That's on the buffer, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, the trail of that is in that section, that lot there, okay?
Okay, yeah.
I wouldn't sell them the whole thing anyway, I'd sell, you know, them pine trees and that I'd wanna keep in ours. Well, his built, development would be north of that anyway.
Would be on the tilled land.
Yeah. Cause the rest of that's in a floodplain.
Doesn't St. Luke's don't they have to cross the creek too sometimes?
Yep.
Yeah.
But they can come in from 6.
Well, they can come in from the highway.
But who knows, maybe there is a township road that comes in from the west.
Mhm.
And I think it stops at our lot, or our property.
How many acres does St. Luke's Church have there?
6.6.
Would it hurt to hear what he has to say?
No, I don't have an issue with it, no matter which way we look at it. I'm just bringing it up, so I asked him if he wanted to come down here tonight, and he said he wanted to just find out first if we can do this. If we're willing, then he would come forward. It's just about like a business coming in here. They don't want everything stuck out, especially we're airing everything now. And that's why I'm just being cautious on what I'm saying.
Well, I guess I don't think there's any problem with having him come and just, tell us what he wants to do.
Well, he wants to put cluster housing in is what it is.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but, I think just whether we wanna sell it or not, well, we don't know.
But I mean, if, let's say we want him to come forward, he's gotta put plans together. Okay, now he's spending a lot of money to do this, and then we come in and say no. I mean, that's where
Yeah.
he's coming from. Why should he spend the money to do this if we're not gonna do it?
If we're not willing to sell,
Yeah.
right?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But then he's really asking us to make a commitment that we're willing to
No,
sell it to do the
well,
plans.
put it this way, if we say, yeah, we're willing to sell it,
If he meets all of our specs and
Yeah.
criteria.
then he
right,
comes forward.
Right,
We ain't had a price yet or anything.
right.
We're just saying we're open to sell it. What are we doing with it now? We're not making any money except we're paying taxes on farmland that they said since they're making money, they're taxing us more than what we're making.
No, they're normally the city doesn't pay any tax on their property, but because we're not holding it or we're using it for profit activity, we gotta pay profit taxes on it, so. Whatever.
And then we told them at first when they started doing it, we says, well, we aren't renting it out for that much money. And they said, you should, because that's what we're taxing you on.
Right.
Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Right.
so that's not their trouble.
Yeah, I said, it's our problem, not theirs, so we're not making any money on it. The only thing we're doing is about breaking even on it for the simple fact that we get so much of that back from the county, but the school gets some and, everybody else
Well, like I said, I'd be willing to sell, but knowing that there's all these hoops to jump through first, or we actually would have, maybe make a sale, so.
Yeah, maybe he can't do it, I mean, that's,
Right, I mean, at least we should tell him we would be willing to work with him if he can, meet all the standards and criteria we need. I guess I don't have a problem with selling it then. Especially if we're not doing anything with it now and we're not making any money with it. It's just a dead dinosaur sitting there.
how do you feel, Patrice?
I think we should talk to him. And I'm not talking about making big, that he has to do big plans or anything, but maybe we gotta set up some criteria of, okay, we'll sell it if you follow these rules or whatever.
Well, with zoning and everything else coming around, there's so much he has to do anyway. I mean, even us, we have to jump through all the hoops. We got pollution control and everything else we have to go through before we can do anything on our developments. If the Minnesota Pollution Control doesn't say it, then we gotta figure out how to do it to get them to do it. You say, but that all costs money too. So if you're willing to talk to them, then I'll go back and tell them we're willing to talk. That's basically what I'm asking.
Right.
Well, willing to talk and willing to sell are two different statements.
Well,
so-
if you're willing to talk, then you should be willing to sell.
Right.
But it sounds like he wants a willing to sell, so, I mean, I'm willing to talk and listen to any options that he might have, absolutely. But I don't want him to get the idea that it's a done deal, that's for sure.
Well,
'Cause there's a lot of things to consider.
Does he know the hoops that he's gonna have to
oh yeah,
go through to build
that,
this?
yeah, that's why he's asking first if we'd be willing to sell the land.
The biggest problem
Okay,
he's
so
gonna
he
have,
does know.
Yeah,
the biggest problem he's gonna have is getting across that creek.
yeah, and that's on his dime.
It just is. That's what the problem is. Because we looked at it before.
We looked at it,
I think we did it before we even decided to go to
that's
buy
why,
land up at the other end.
well, that's why we went to Swanson, because it was actually cheaper for us to buy that whole section of land and develop it.
But now land is expensive. I mean, it's 25,000, I mean, selling for $25,000 an acre.
Yeah.
So what do we need to resolve this so we can keep moving on?
The only thing we need to resolve is, I should go back and tell him that we're willing to sell, listen to him and sell if he comes up with a plan, because
I mean, I don't see why not if you can make it work. But
I mean, he has to make it work. It doesn't cost the city a dime.
right, and yeah, if it doesn't work, it's not gonna be a sale.
Right.
Yeah, I mean I agree 100% that way. So I guess that's my vote. But
I'll go back and talk to him again. Is that okay with you, Patrice?
That he can come and talk, is that what it was?
Well, I'll go back and talk to him and say that we're willing to listen.
Okay. Yep,
Okay.
I'm fine.
Any council concerns?
hey, can we get somebody down here at the street where they dug up South Broadway down here and right at the corner of 9 and South Broadway? It's a county's deal, but just put some gravel in there. That's getting worse. That
That's
comes
not the
through there.
county, that's the assisted living.
Okay, yeah, but just have them put some gravel in there. If somebody could call and have Steve will stop up there or something. They got piles of gravel. Just have them go down there and put some more in quick. It's getting to be that much of a dip when you go
I
through there.
thought they were gonna put a lift on it this fall.
Oh, okay, but gee, it's, you gotta really go over that slow, cause,
I'll
you
go,
know.
I'll talk with him.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
talked
all you
to
do is
her.
just sprinkle a little,
Yeah.
yeah, it does, oh,
A lot of traffic there with the
yep.
trucks.
And people are usually going 15 miles an hour when they come around that corner, and it's an eye
If
opener.
you're not ready for it.
All
Well,
right.
you do a little more than that. I see you on two wheels once in a while.
Well, every day. You're not watching. But that's, I just come across that again today, and I thought, geez, I think put a little gravel in there, it'd be fine, cause it ain't gonna take much.
Broadway, I'll talk to Tony
Yeah.
about it.
Okay.
The motion to pay the bills?
You didn't ask for council
Oh,
concerns.
I did, but.
Yeah, that was the only
Oh,
one I had.
that was the only
Yeah.
thing, well, you
Unless
skipped
you-
over.
Oh, okay,
I had somebody come and talk to me, about the dumpster that's in the street. Across the street from Traven's.
Yeah, it's been
How
a
long
while.
is it gonna, it's been there about a month now.
Yeah,
How long is it gonna
talked
be
to
there?
them, said they had to get it out of there, so, but I haven't, that was before I had COVID even.
Yeah.
No.
I'll have Josh talk to him, or,
I
you want,
can talk to them tomorrow.
sounds good. Yeah, 'cause they were told he's only supposed to be in there a week.
Yeah, no, I talked to them before they got the dumpster too, and I
Okay.
gave them a week. So, I'll talk to them tomorrow.
Gets
Okay.
the
I
best
talked to
of
the
tight.
mom, who I talked to.
Yeah, that's who you should, Terry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gary, that's her name. Yeah, she talked to me and told me she has a dumpster, so I'll talk to her about that again.
Yeah, and the other one that deals JR up there, JR is moving. He asked me on if he tried to get the trailer out of there on Sunday, but he hasn't done yet, so he's filling it up and then hauling it out. And I said, are you moving out of town? He said, yes. And I says, then it'd be fine with me. But it said it can't be sitting there all the time either, but he told me to be out of there this week yet, so. That's why when I texted you the other day, I had talked to him already.
Yeah, you had said that.
Any other council concerns? Terry? Patrice?
Oh, what? Oh, council concerns, you know, I was at the, sanitary district meeting, I was today, you know, just online here, and just a couple of things, they have now talked to Prairie Island, and, Prairie Island is not going to be developing down there for 7 to 10 years, that they've had to move it back for some reason. So as far as, you know, for Prairie Island to be able to hook onto the sanitary district, there was some question about that. They've taken pictures of the, aerial pictures of all of the sewage plants of these towns that wanna be in the district, and ours was the worst. And that's a good thing, because, they're gonna put that in the advertising that they're gonna talk to the legislators about. And so they want, the picture of ours, and then maybe the picture of when it was built, when it was brand new. I don't know if there is a picture like that,
I think there is.
but
32.
is there?
Was it?
Okay.
Yeah, 32, my dad always told it, 32 they put it in.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so we did get that. I mean, we are the worst, so, anyhow. And then, they just talked about some public hearings, and they're not really ready for that yet. Maybe after the first of the year, after they know more. Hopefully, we might know if we're gonna be included in the legislature for getting all the money. We might know by December, that's a possibility. So,
Okay.
there's a long way to go yet.
Well, thanks for sitting in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else? Now can I get a motion to pay the bills?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I just wondered why the amount of, and this is really dumb talking about this, the amount of money is low this time. It was like 30,000, was that the bills? And usually it's quite a bit more than that. Is there a reason, is there up and downs as we go during the year?
Yeah, it all depends on what we have going on. You know, what is due at a certain time of year.
Okay.
You know, we don't have any lifeguards now, or,
Yeah,
you know, our payroll's smaller.
Okay,
Yeah, the pool fund, I mean,
okay, just wondering.
yep.
I didn't get a chance to look through them, but
I did this afternoon. So. Everybody get a chance to look at them?
I looked through them enough, I guess I didn't see anything, there was any problem.
Well,
On
I need a motion.
On that 1026 for the League of Minnesota Cities, was that like the last payment for? That's on page 3 of 5.
The 2,500?
Yeah,
Yeah, the claim just came through, that's all we paid.
okay.
The, League of Minnesota Cities paid the rest.
Yep, that's what I figured.
That's over and done with. Right, Dick?
Thankfully.
See. I'll make a motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and second to pay the bills. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Do I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Second,
Motion's made and second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Give us a picture.